The Horn of Africa is a land of dramatic landscapes. It's a place where arid deserts meet the deep blue of the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea. For centuries, this corner of the world has held a certain mystique, a sense of deep time etched into its very mountains and coastlines. We often think of this region's history in the context of Islam, a faith that has profoundly shaped its identity for over 1,000 years. But what came before? Long before the first mosques were built, another story was unfolding. It's a tale of ancient mariners, powerful kingdoms, bustling trade cities, all connected by the steady currents of the sea and the shifting sands of the desert. To begin our story, we must first understand the stage on which it was set. Imagine a map of Africa, zoom into Northeast Africa, the Horn of Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti. To the west, Sudan, a vast country dominated by the life-giving Nile River. These lands are ancient, home to some of the earliest chapters of human history. They're lands of incredible diversity, the Ethiopian highlands, the sun-scorched plains of Somalia, and the fertile river valleys of Sudan. Long before Arab settlers arrived, these regions were already teeming with life and culture. Farmers, herders, artisans, builders of monuments and belief systems. In Ethiopia, kingdoms formed. Along the Somali coast, resins were harvested. In Sudan, powerful Kushite states rose around the Nile. The first significant wave of Arab settlement began more than 2,500 years ago. Pioneers came from wealthy South Arabian kingdoms, the Sabaeans and the Himyarites, from what is now Yemen. Skilled mariners used the monsoon winds. Dhows sailed to Africa and India, returning with the seasons. They were drawn by the promise of frankincense, myrrh, ivory, gold, goods coveted from Rome to Persia. Frankincense, myrrh, ivory, gold, tortoiseshells, and painfully enslaved people were also part of these ancient networks. Sabaeans set up trading posts along Africa's Red Sea shores to access goods directly, commercial hubs rather than military colonies. They brought language, script, architecture, and religious iconography, traces that appear in Ethiopian stone and inscriptions. Over generations there was gradual settlement, integration, intermarriage, a fused new elite and blended traditions. From South Arabian script evolved Ge'ez, the ancestor of Amharic and Tigrinya, and a distinct African civilization emerged. In the highlands of northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, the fusion of South Arabian and African cultures gave rise to the kingdom of Aksum. Emerging around the 1st century AD, Aksum became one of the great powers of the ancient world. Its main port, Adulis, linked the African interior to the Red Sea and beyond, a gateway for trade to Rome, India, and Persia. Aksumite ships sailed across the Indian Ocean, placing Aksum at the heart of transoceanic commerce. Aksum is famed for its giant stelae, towering obelisks carved from single blocks of granite, a staggering feat of engineering. Aksum's coins and artifacts have been found as far away as India and Rome, proof of wide-reaching trade. In the 4th century, AD King Ezana converted to Christianity, making Aksum among the earliest Christian states. That decision shaped Ethiopia's religious identity, with ancient liturgies and Ge'ez remaining central. Aksum absorbed Arabian influences and transformed them, creating a distinctive, enduring African superpower. Its legacy testifies to deep historical connections across the Red Sea. Further south, along the arid coastline of modern-day Somalia, another story unfolds. This region, known in ancient texts as the Land of Punt, later Barbaria, was the world's primary source of frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense, myrrh. These resins were used in religious ceremonies and prized across Rome and Persia. Ports such as Apone, possibly modern Hafun, became thriving cosmopolitan centers. The periplus of the Erythraean Sea describes these ports and the arrival of ships from Arabia, India, and beyond. Ships brought cloth, grain, wine, and left with incense, cinnamon, tortoiseshell, and enslaved people. The periplus suggests ruling elites in Somali ports had ties with Arabian counterparts, a shared commercial world. Arab traders integrated into coastal societies, marrying, exchanging skills in shipbuilding, navigation, and commerce. The maritime traditions and monsoon knowledge are a living legacy that links past and present. Our journey takes us west and up the mighty Nile into ancient Nubia, in modern Sudan. This was the home of the Kingdom of Kush, iron producers, builders of pyramids, and a civilization rivaling Egypt. Kush's link to Arabia was mainly commercial. Caravan trails and Red Sea ports connected it to coastal trade. Camel caravans, the ships of the desert, carried gold, ivory, ebony, exotic skins, and ostrich feathers eastward. Goods traveled to ports like Adulis, then across to Arabia, Kush became an indirect but important partner in Red Sea trade. Roman glassware and Arabian pottery found in royal tombs show how connected Kushite elites were to the wider world. Kush's iron production and trade funded grand projects and preserved independence for centuries. Arab influence in Kush was primarily economic. Exchange of goods and ideas shaped local markets and technologies. This region was a crossroads linking Africa's interior with Arabia and the Mediterranean. The camel, perfected by Arabian peoples, was crucial to these long routes that bound these lands together. How do we know all of this? How can we piece together a story that unfolded thousands of years ago? The answer lies buried in the earth and carved into stone. In Ethiopia, inscriptions and architecture resembling South Arabian temples point to builders who crossed the Red Sea. Yeha's pre-Aksumite temple, with dressed stone and no mortar, is striking evidence. The Azana stone carries inscriptions in Ge'ez, Sabaean and Greek, a multilingual testament to Aksum's connections. At Ras Hafun and other ports, archaeologists find Roman amphorae, Persian ceramics and Arabian earthenware, shards that tell global trade stories. Oral traditions and local legends, the wise men from the East, preserve memories that complement archaeology. Combined with texts like the Periplus and hard archaeological evidence, we can reconstruct these ancient links. Each shard, each inscription is a clue, a ship that once docked, a merchant who traded, and a marketplace humming with life. Together they reveal a rich picture of interaction and exchange across millennia. The influence of these ancient Arab civilizations was not swept away by the sands of time. It lives on today in languages, cultures, and even in DNA. Ge'ez, born from the fusion of local Cushitic tongues and Old South Arabian, is the root of Amharic, Tigrinya, and Tigray. Every time these languages are spoken or written, they echo that ancient encounter. Aksum's conversion to Christianity influenced rituals, liturgy, and a uniquely Ethiopian form of worship. In Somalia, maritime culture, boat building, and navigation skills are living cultural continuities from the ancient trade era. Thousands of years of movement and intermarriage created a rich genetic and cultural heritage across the Horn and Red Sea. The pre-Islamic Arab influence remains a living part of the region's identity, preserved in museums and festivals. This foundational layer predates later chapters, including the arrival of Islam, and shaped the region's trajectory. It is a testament to an ancient world that was far more connected than we often imagine. History is a complex tapestry, woven from migration, trade, and cultural exchange. The lands of Somalia, Ethiopia, and Sudan were never isolated. They were at the heart of a dynamic world. From Aksum's towering stelae to bustling Somali ports, evidence of shared history surrounds us. It is etched in stone, preserved in manuscripts, and carried in tradition. Africa and Arabia were not separate worlds but two regions locked in a productive embrace for millennia. This fusion produced great civilizations and enduring coastal cultures. Today, those ancient ties still shape politics, trade, and culture across the region. Studying this past helps communities understand and preserve their heritage for the future. The connections that bind these lands are not centuries but millennia old. The story continues to unfold in the lives of millions, the living tapestry of history. The echoes of ancient horns still resonate. The Red Sea was a bridge, not a border. When peoples met across these waters, remarkable civilizations were born. This is a story of connection. Trade, migration, marriage, exchange. It reminds us that identities are formed through interaction and shared history. To look back before the era of Islam is to gain a deeper appreciation for the depth and complexity of this region's heritage. Support archaeology, preserve stories, and celebrate the shared past that unites us. Thank you for joining this journey through the pre-Islamic history of Somalia, Ethiopia, and Sudan. Sources, archaeological publications, the Periplus, regional oral histories, music, YouTube audio library, see credits. Please like, subscribe, and explore the links below for sources and further reading.